everybody. My name is Wilber. I am the Ethereal Pest Control Expert. Most of the time, I'm in charge of getting rid of satanic mind worms and them slimy black goat grabbing things. But I've done a really good job on that, and there just ain't too many of them left around. I mean, we're just all plumb out of slimy black goat grabbers. So, I heard there's an opportunity to do some life narration. You know, like that Morgan Freeman fella. You know, saying things like, that morning, a man nobody had ever seen before walked into the bank. Well, I ain't Morgan, but I'm Wilber, so let's give it a go. Today's victim of life narration is Chris James. So, just imagine you putting on some dramatic music, and the camera kind of zooms in to Chris's peaceful sleeping face. And then my voice comes in, all wonderful sounding, and it says, give me a second here. Normally, Chris James, having lived an honorable and virtuous life, slept the sleep of the blessed, and remembered his dreams as small, fleeting glimpses of the innocent and childlike inner portions of his mind. But everything in nature and in the mind of man has an exception. On October 27th, that exception made itself known in the sleeping but still deeply powerful mind of Chris James. The dream was almost indistinguishable from real life, at least in the beginning. He awoke just as the sun was peeking over the horizon. His mind had a few moments of not quite conscious confusion until a vision of clear and unquestionable purpose formed in his mind. It was a vision so beloved and so common that he barely remembered when the vision had not been there. Coffee, caffeine nectar, the beatific brew, that wonderful cup of joe. Coffee, I say, as there truly is nothing else quite like it in the entire universe. After quickly dressing and performing his required ablutions, I like that there word, Chris headed resolutely to the coffee repository in the kitchen of his warm and inviting home. There, he encountered one of the most astounding horrors of his entire life. There simply was no coffee for Chris James. None. None at all. Not a single grain. Not a single gram. None at all. There was no Arabica. There was no Robusta. No organic Ethiopian. No Colombian. Not even a sad little jar of instant mushroom and chicory coffee. How this state of affairs had come about would require some extensive pondering. But even that would have to wait. Now the vital stack of caffeine-laden ambrosia must be replenished. It was a moral imperative. In his dream, the streets of Laredo were, that ought to be a song, you know, were unlike any place he had ever seen. The normally brown and green landscape was now Vulcan carnelian and cerulean blue. Chris thought, man, they sure chose some ugly colors. But that was the least of his worries, as there was simply no coffee to be found, no coffee to be stolen, no coffee to be acquired by any means in any form. It had seemingly disappeared from the world. Well, it was about that time that Chris, an eminently sensible man, said somewhere in the deep recesses of his admittedly unusual mind, this seems like some serious horse hockey. So he woke up, shook his head a moment, arose to a world of wonder and beauty, and more than generous portions of organic man coffee, of which he then partook, greedily and with tremendous gusto. Then he had a banana. Banana. Hey, what do you expect? I'm a little green dude with crazy hair. I don't look anything like Morgan Freeman or Lionel Fanthorpe. But guess what? They don't know a dang thing about dealing with them slimy black goat grabbing things. Alrighty, it's Wilber out. Thank you for listening to the wonderful life of Chris James.